Hi everyone, you are watching the UK's only TV programme dedicated to mental health and wellbeing topics, The Chrissy B Show. Now, we always encourage our viewers to go for their dreams and goals because many let fear or the thoughts that they don't have the time or skills get the better of them. But on this show, we will show you that it's never too late to learn or to start something new. And we're going to illustrate this through our real-life story guest today, and that is Lin Tribble, who's recently launched not one, but 2 businesses at a later stage in life. She's going to be telling us how she did it, but not before we treat her to an extra special makeover done by hairstylist Marcia Salazar and our makeup artist Theresa Maegan Gregoire. Now, before we move on, this is what you can do if you know someone that deserves a makeover. Let's take a look.
Do you know someone who deserves a makeover and would like to tell their story? Perhaps it's someone who's going through a hard time, or is always thinking about other people and not about themselves. Let us pamper them here on the show. And you can even nominate yourself. Get in touch with us via our website, chrissybshow.tv, and you or your friend could be the next person getting spoiled and sitting on the sofa having a chat with Chrissy. And the pampering could continue because every month we give away a fabulous gift of a spa treatment courtesy of the luxurious Thai Square Spa in Trafalgar Square. You will feel like royalty, so don't delay. Get in touch today.
So do get in touch if you would like to nominate someone or nominate yourselves. Now, also joining us on this show will be business expert Chelsey Baker, who is actually mentoring Lin and will also be giving her own tips on learning in business. And we're going to be having some styling tips with Cynthia Liza Gregoire, and this week is all about snazzing up a plain outfit with some accessories. So we're going to let her loose on myself, Lin and Megan. And he's back in the studio with us. Yes, we have Coach Chris Brown talking about learning in the workplace. But before we speak to him, we have some great points from our resident psychologist, Dr. Audrey Tang, who'll be explaining to us why learning is so good for us, the physical and the mental dangers of stopping to learn, what the best type of learning is for us, and she will also be giving tips on how to find out your best method of learning, because we all learn differently. But let's see what she has to say about learning in later life.
Well, what's absolutely lovely is that in surveys that have been conducted, 93% of you feel that it's never too late to learn, and that's absolutely right. In fact, in the UK, and this was back in 2012, so maybe there's someone new since, but Bertie Gladwin was awarded his 3rd degree in military intelligence at the age of 91. And this is absolutely lovely because he says himself that he's a late bloomer in that he was never that strong academically when he was young. And so he realised that at a later age, it was easier for him to take in more information and he was in the right mindset to learn. So that's absolutely wonderful. Also, when I had the honour of being invited to an Adult Learners Week celebration, I heard the story of a gentleman who attended a local college. At 90 years old, he wanted to teach himself how to use the internet. So he took the bus ride every day to go down to the library and find out about the internet. And that was absolutely lovely, very humbling when you hear stories like that as well. It really is never too late to learn. All you need to do is go out there and find a class, and you'll find other people who are probably just as scared as you in exactly the same boat. And a little note for teachers as well. Sometimes older learners, with all the experience that they have, can probably be the most exciting, interesting and informative people you will ever meet. And you can always learn from your students, no matter what their age. I've been privileged to teach from very, very young primary, year 1 and reception, right up until adult education. And every single class has always inspired me, and that's absolutely wonderful. So thank you to all of my ex-students as well. It's never too late to learn. Just find something you enjoy and go for it.
And we'll be hearing more from Audrey a bit later on. But now it's time to talk to Coach Chris Brown. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you, Chrissy. Great to be back.
Lovely to have you back. It's been a while.
It has been.
So today we're going to talk all about learning in the workplace, because that's your speciality, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. Learning in the workplace. Learning in the workplace is great. It's important. You've got to keep on moving. You've got to keep improving, because if you don't, you become obsolete. right?
Yeah.
So when we say learn in the workplace, it's not only workplace, we've got to be constantly updating ourselves. As I was mentioning, there are like big companies that stopped updating themselves.
Yeah.
What happened? Everybody passed them ahead. So even as an individual, you've got to learn, you've got to keep on growing. Yeah. And there are certain ways of learning in a workplace as well. Now, one of them is either mentoring, right? Shadowing's a really good one. You know, if you've got somebody there that you can actually shadow and work off, you know, because different people, as we know, learn in different ways. Some people need to learn practically. Some people know practically. I'm a bit of that as well. I'm a bit as well.
Seeing someone just talks to me, I just lose it. It's like, okay, I need to do it myself to get it in my head.
It just turns into words after, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm a bit like that as well. So, or reading. Some people like reading it instead and finding out. So it's really important. It's about growth at the end of the day.
Yeah. What about training in the workplace as well?
Training in the workplace. When we talk about training in the workplace, it's good. Let's talk about the employer and the employees. On the employer's side, you've got to engage those workers into something that's going to interest them, something that's going to be profitable on both sides. And when I say that, you've got to know your employees. You've got to think, well, what actually motivates them? What would make them think, well, if I learn this, then this is going to happen, that's going to happen instead. So you've got to engage with your employees to understand what do they need. And then there's that area of appraisal as well, where you look at someone's weaknesses. Remember I always say, weaknesses? Areas to be developed, right? So look at those, look at their strengths as well. Where can we actually use that person? How can we develop them? What about what the role they're doing? Is it becoming mundane to them? You know, because you've got to get the best out of them at the same time. Now, for an employee, you've got to keep on learning. And you've got to remember, and this is much with employers as well, that you do have competitors out there. I'm not going against what I normally say, you only compete with yourself, but you've got to be better at what you do than everybody else. So you've got to improve you. Now, the only way you're going to improve you is by learning. By learning. If you get stagnant, there's always somebody else going to come along and they're going to do what you could do even better. So you've got to update yourself. And I don't mean in a negative way, oh, there's this person coming up next to me and I've got to watch out over my back. I don't mean in that way. What I mean is just you for yourself. You've got to improve yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, also you're going to feel quite insecure if people coming in and they're training and they're learning and you're just going to be left behind.
You will be left behind. And even in saying that, you've got to think about it. It's not only about you, it's a teamwork as well. Because if you start just excelling, and you still got your colleagues at this level as well, it's a team, sharing. Sharing is what it's about. Sharing is caring, as they say. So here we go. It makes a big difference.
So Chris, what about for those that aren't actually employed? What's your advice for them?
Those who are not employed, they've got to turn it around. They are employed. They're employed in looking for full-time work all the time. Now,
that's nice.
Yeah, it is. Well, think about this. Do you know, I can remember many years ago myself when I had a stint of quite a period of unemployment. And this was some many years ago. And the only thing was to keep updating yourself. Keep getting ready. Now, it's not only that, being employed, do the work I do, obviously, in what I run, but the thing about it is myself as well, just like yourself, you've got to keep updated all the time. Now, if somebody's thinking, well, I'm unemployed, nobody's going to take me, do you know what? You're right. You know, I say you're right, because if you're thinking that way and you're taking that attitude, that's what you're going to project. So you've got to be excited. You've got to know new things. You've got to know what's happening in the industry. You've got to know about the competitors. You've got to know that you're the one who's going to be an asset when you walk into that company, that they want to rip your arm off when you come out the door and say, yes, that's the person I need. How are you going to do that? By learning. Full stop. It's just learning all the way through. The more you learn, the more you earn. That is the truth at the end of the day, because you become more valuable towards that company and they'll pay you more for what you know. So go ahead. And when I'm talking about it that way, I'm not actually saying, look, the more courses you go and do, yes, that does help at the end of the day. I'm not saying you have to be the best intellect, but you've got to keep on learning. No matter what level, you've got to keep growing. You started that way when you was a baby. You just wanted to learn. And you grew up as a child, you started to learn. Became a teenager, you wanted to learn. And some people at that time, they leave all the studying, was at school, think that's it, now I just get on with life. No, it doesn't. You just keep on learning. If you want to progress, if you want to develop, keep on learning.
Definitely. And just one thing I'd just like to tell you and all the viewers, I think it's also important to learn some skills as well, even in the interview phase. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've been interviewing some people quite recently in this period, and There was one in particular, you know, when it feels like the person is just not interested. They're in an interview, but they're really not interested in the position. Now, I don't know if that was down to nerves or if they've just thought, oh, let me just try and just see what happens. But I was put off immediately just because there was no enthusiasm there. I didn't see that the person really wanted the job.
Right.
And, you know, I wouldn't consider someone like that. But it didn't seem, honestly, it didn't seem like nerves to me. It just seemed like, oh, why are you here if you're not really interested in the position?
Right.
So I think if you are that kind of person that's kind of very laid back and like you kind of just take everything in your stride, I think it's important. You could actually give off the wrong message somewheres, and I think it's important to learn some skills to be interviewed and look a bit more enthusiastic.
Do you know, saying that, I mean, that's why they call people like themselves and other coaches into companies and employment agencies to teach people how to actually project themselves in interviews. Because you do get that. Sometimes you're role playing and the person is just dead, they're back in there. And the reason being, they've actually lost touch with what an interview's about and they're going for a job for the money, I need to be employed. It's not about being employed. It's not just about that only. It's about you adding something to that company, bringing something to it. You've got to sell yourself in an interview, and they'll say, just like you said you felt like it's not worth it. It's wasting your time, isn't it? Well, they are wasting your time. That's the truth. So they've got to work on it as well, just as much. You know, sell themselves.
Thank you very much, Chris, and we'll see you again very soon. But it's not quite time to go to break yet, because now we're going to go back to Dr. Audrey Tang, who tells us all about the psychological benefits of learning. And trust me, it's going to make you want to get out there and start doing something.
In terms of learning from a psychological point of view, well, first of all, you, our viewers, all believe that learning is really good for you. In fact, 95% of you feel that it boosts your confidence, and 92% of you feel that it means that you can continue to learn new things and it's loads and loads of fun. And there is, of course, research to support this. Quite some time ago now, when we're talking sort of 60s, 70s, but the research still holds. Learners were given the opportunity to do puzzles. Some learners had puzzles that they could complete, others had puzzles that were impossible to complete. And it was found that those learners who tried the impossible puzzles actually were less likely to want to try again, even though they were then told that it was an impossible puzzle. Furthermore, the learners who completed the puzzles that were told were difficult, but actually they were able to achieve, actually wanted to do more puzzles later on. So sometimes it's a case of that self-esteem that you feel when you achieve something. And indeed, we've talked about this before in terms of happiness. The achievement actually releases a happy endorphin, and we feel very, very positive that we've completed something, that we've achieved something. So that's really good for us. Also, in terms of learning can relate to an awful lot of repetition, and that is how to get something imprinted in our brains. Again, we go back to research conducted in the 50s and 60s. Ebbinghaus, who researched memory, talked an awful lot about how memory is like an imprint in wax. The stronger you press that imprint in there, the longer it's going to last. Same thing with learning. If we keep repeating those skills, the deeper that imprint is, the more we're going to remember them in the future. So again, even though it may be hard to learn new things, it's really good to keep imprinting, keep repeating that learning to ourselves, and we can progress from there. Not only that, if we train our brain to get used to learning and used to repeating, we're able to then make that a little bit more habitual, and we can take on more learning in the future. Another reason why it's so good for us is because we lose our fear of learning. As we get older, we actually have a greater fear of failure. And because of that, if we continue learning and we realise that failing actually means we've tried, we stop worrying so much about, oh my goodness, am I going to make a fool of myself? And as adults, we do fear that a lot. So if we continue practising our learning, continue to realise that it's okay to make mistakes, that can be really positive for our self-esteem as well.
And we're going to be going back to Audrey later with some more fascinating facts. Now, after the break, we'll be having our makeover reveal and also makeup and styling tips with the Gregoire sisters. Welcome back to today's program, everyone, which is all about achieving goals in later life, and it's also our makeover day. So we've had the pleasure of making over Lin Tribble today, and she'll also be telling us her story a bit later on about starting 2 businesses. So let's see a photo of Lin before her makeover. And here she is now. Hello, Lin.
Hello.
You look absolutely gorgeous, my lovely.
Thank you.
What do you think of the makeover?
I definitely think I look 10 years younger. It's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, it looks really good. And I noticed the eyes are really standing out. Yes. Really good. And I just have to say hello, welcome back.
Thank you, Chrissy.
To our lovely, lovely makeup expert, Megan here, who's been on maternity leave, but now you're back.
Yes.
And back with us on the team, which is brilliant. And we also have Cynthia as well, who's going to be doing some styling. So Megan, tell us why did you choose this particular look for Lin today?
Well, it really has to do with kind of bringing out the best features for Lin. So basically, she has baby blue eyes. We did the color wheel kind of technique, which is what is the opposite color of your eyes. You know, a good color for Lin, or even if you have brown eyes, it's a taupe. So we have actually used color from Ellie Spa that has a taupey purple in it, and so it just brought those eyes out. And we also, you know, did a bit of liner, well-defined brows. Brows are a big thing. If you actually kind of over tweeze or anything, like make sure to kind of fill in those brows, and maybe take a look online to see where you can actually draw the curve, or what dimensions, because it's really important that you get that right as well. And they can, bigger brows are in. So they're trending now, and so I've done a bit of makeup trends throughout all the makeups I've done today. So one of them is kind of getting that fuller brow. So we've just given her a little bit more definition, and that really can take years off. But as well, also with the summer and it being festival season, you want to keep it shimmery and bright. And obviously you are aware, I had to bring this back, being back, I just had to do this, but you do want to just, you know, keep moisturized. Keep moisturized, and it brings moisture, because, you know, you're going to be getting those days where it's going to be sunny, or even if it's, you know, not sunny, you want to feel hydrated and vibrant. So, you know, we did a nice kind of shimmer bronzy blusher. So with you know, fair skin or anything, you can add a little bit of bronzer that takes years off as well. So don't be afraid to take, you know, it two tones darker, a little bit on the cheeks, over the forehead where the sun would touch, and it really just brings some color and kind of gets rid of that kind of pasty, you know, winter look for the spring, summer. Okay. And is this something you would normally do, or is your makeup routine completely different?
It's completely different.
What do you normally do?
Bit of lipstick, bit of mascara, and that's about it.
So did you get lots of tips from Megan today?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Took notes?
Yeah. I did, yeah.
Mental notes, all right. That's lovely. Megan, thank you so much. And you've also going to tell us about Cynthia's makeup, aren't you?
Yeah, so just a bit of lashes here. So we have, it's called doll. Just a bit. Well, it might be a little OTT, but basically the look we have is the doll lashes. So she looks very doll-like, almost like one of those, you know, geishas. Really beautiful. Obviously, this is something that, you know, she pulls off really well. And like the lashes on the top and bottom are probably maybe not something everyone would feel comfortable doing. So if you want to get the doll lashes and you don't want to do the actual strip lashes, which we did for TV, you can just actually take your liner and you can do a little bit, kind of like the Twiggy, you know, look. She did that. Very beautiful. And with festival season, you know, it's really, really unique and fun. So, I mean, that's where you can like kind of pull off that look as well. So, you know, brows, lashes, it's all in. It's trending. Okay. So give it a try.
What about your lipstick?
And red lips. Red lips. Darker lips are actually, darker red lips are actually trending as well.
Okay.
So, you know, that really kind of classic red lip, the darker shades, grab them from your, you know, drawers. You know, hopefully they don't have too much dust on them, because it's a classic red you can wear all year, but definitely pull them out for the season.
Brilliant. Okay, so Megan, you're also going to stay with us, because now we're going to go to styling. So Cynthia, tell us about the styling today.
So today we have a special segment where we are really just focusing on accessories. And I mean, accessories are shoes, jewelry, purses, bags, all sorts of fun things that brighten up outfits and make them look a bit different than what you started out with. So I'm just going to do the same thing I do every week. We'll talk about everyone's outfits, the things that we accessorized with, and then we'll go to the rail where I have some different items to talk about. So Chrissy, I'm going to start with yourself, and I've got you in some Senso sandals that you've paired with your own white cropped jeans, and these are a bit jeweled, you know, a little bit special for summertime. You have a lovely, just, you know, plain cotton American vintage t-shirt, but the shape of the shirt is that it's a bit shorter in the front and then it just drapes out, and it's a really lovely silhouette that it gives. It's just very simple. And I've put this tassel necklace on. The coral kind of goes with the rose gold in your earrings and the makeup look that Megan has put together with you. And I also liked the contrast of the black and the white. And you have a Star Maya clutch. And so these are really these fabulous new bohemian pieces at Questionnaire. They also feature tassels. They've got little mirrored bits on them and different kind of embroidery. So
It's lovely, those.
this is a pretty roomy one. You could maybe get a laptop in there. All right. So our makeover Lin today, as Chrissy was all in white, Lin has come in all black. And she's got her own leather sandals on, and this lovely piece here that I just want to point out. This one has like a built-in sort of necktie thing. Now there's so many things you can do with a garment like this. You could wear this just out and down. You could tie it, but I found that I actually like the best look for Lin today is it was quite chic, was just to sort of like drape one piece over her shoulder and let the other one just hang. And often, Chrissy, if I love putting like kind of a neck piece of some sort, even a piece of fabric around my neck. I'll cut up an old t-shirt and just, if it's red, and just tie it around your neck, and no one really knows, but it does give you that extra little bit for your outfit. And I've also put a sparkly tassel necklace with this, and a fabulous DVF leopard clutch, so just a pop of animal print. And we have this gorgeous, gorgeous bracelet, which we'll talk about in just a second when we go over to the other items. And you wanted to mention your own hair clip that you had in today. Tell us about it.
We import these amazing hair clips which hold up your hair really firmly, and they're secure all day.
Oh, great.
This is one, but I also have one in.
Can you show? Turn around and give us a show. Right, so lovely. And that just stays in quite firm, doesn't it, like that? So excellent.
They'll stay in all day. They're the most amazing hair clips.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, on Megan here, we have a fabulous piece by DVF in monochrome. This is the Emerson jumpsuit. It's very tuxedo style. We've got black and white in one. She's wearing my stilettos, and we have this, because she's my evening look, we have this silver chained, ostrich feathered evening bag. And you can tell, you know, it's an evening bag because it's got the silver, you know, it's a bit more than daytime, isn't it? It's got the silver chain, the feathers, the movement for the outfit, and of course these fantastic glasses.
That you'd wear
you would just wear them at night and like just, you know,
just to look cool.
So thank you, Megan, for that. On myself, I've got these, I just bought these shoes from Whistles, actually, and I really love them. They're just a very sensible heel Mary Jane, and those can be worn, you know, with jeans, actually, or any sort of pant, really, skirt or dress, so it's good investment. This is a dress by Pyrus. And sorry, it's by Ganni. A lot of things to remember today. A Swedish brand named Ganni, and it's just got like punched holes in the top, and it's got this adjustable skirt actually. So this could actually be worn very short, or you could wear it long, as I've worn it today. And I also have a Star Maya satchel, and this one here is much like Chrissy's, but it's got the, you know, the drawstring there. So for people who would lose that or leave that behind, this might be a smarter choice for you. All right, shall we go over to
move over to that?
Great. All right, so we just have a variety of things. The first thing I'd like to talk about, because it's quite special to today, is we have the pleasure of featuring the Leanne Landman collection. And that's all of these beautiful bracelets here. If we could get sort of a close-up on those, that would be wonderful. And basically, the Leanne Landman collection is, there's a lady that started up a business in South Africa, and she's got a team of women there, and it's a close-knit team. And basically, she's got a passion to create very unique items that are very high quality materials, the leather, the silver. She's got, you know, the semi-precious stones. Each piece is unique, and the meticulous attention to detail. And the braiding of the pieces, if we can get a close-up maybe on that, the braiding of the silver is done by her team, who it's been passed down for generations, the techniques. So there's a lot of thought and love in each of these pieces. She also does these fabulous wrap bracelets, which we have put on Lin. And when we were just putting this on, it was amazing. It was like, you wrap it once and it's got one semi-precious stones, and then you have freshwater pearls, and then you have, you know, silver and copper, and those are just gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful, isn't it? Yeah.
So thank you, Leanne, for letting us feature your lovely things. A couple other pieces that I have from Questionnaire. I have this belt by Essential. We feature Essential a lot, that brand. And this one's just kind of a fun little Aztec-y piece. You can see here, it's also monochrome, it's in silver, a little bit of metallic on there. And this, you know, you just add that to any outfit really, and that would give that a spark of color. I wanted to point out, you know, we have our classic pieces as well. So I have the Tiffany's bracelet with the different charms that can be, you know, added to them. Chokers are really in right now, which is kind of why I liked this kind of look on Lin. And so I have a beautiful, butterflies are always, you know, a piece that always looks fantastic. Flowers in the hair, whether plastic or, you know, made to look real.
Festival season, very handy.
Very handy for festival season, isn't it? For Glastonbury or Roskilde or whatever, you know. And we have this, like, you know, just a plain corded bracelet by Chanel there. So Megan, what do you have over here? We have...
I like that, like, this is perfect. I mean, you could probably carry some change and a couple cards in it, and that's it. Possibly, if you're driving, take off your car key and only put one key in there.
And your lip gloss.
And the lip gloss.
I bet you could fit all of that in there. I bet you could. A little bit of fringe. For those of you who are tuning in last week, we did fringe, florals, and fabric, and we have, you know, a lovely suede clutch by, or not clutch.
So soft.
Purse by Liebskin Berlin, with a little bit of frills on there. So you can tell, you know, Glastonbury is around the corner. We've got music festival, as you said. It's all about that little extra bit of, you know, bohemian flair for us all, isn't it?
Thank you so much, Cynthia.
You're welcome.
Thanks again, Megan, and we'll see you girls very, very soon. And Lin, I'm going to keep you on because we are going to be hearing your story after this quick break. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back to today's program, everyone, which is all about achieving goals in later life. And also we've done a lovely makeover for Lin here, who we met earlier. Hello, Lin. Welcome
Chrissy.
back. Did you enjoy the makeover?
Oh, I loved it. I felt so pampered. It was really nice.
Oh, well, you deserve it because you have been working hard, haven't you, with your businesses. I'm just going to say hello to Chelsey as well, who's our award-winning mentor, who's been on the show as one of our resident guests.
Hey, Chrissy,
and you're
how are
actually
you?
mentoring Lin.
Yes. I do. I have the privilege of mentoring this wonderful lady.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I have to say, I'm really trying to stop myself from eating this lovely popcorn, which I started during the break. And I can't stop, but I will stop now because Lin is going to tell us her story about having two businesses, not just one, but two. So what were you doing before you started your businesses, Lin?
I was in human resources, which I absolutely loved, but I always wanted to own my own business.
Okay. So what kind of prompted you then? Because some people kind of think, okay, I've got like a stable job and like it's comfortable and I'm getting my pay and everything, my wages. So what kind of prompted you to say, well, now it's time to start my business, my own thing?
It was finding our absolutely fantastic hair clips. We were privileged enough to meet the women in South Africa who actually make the hair clips that we sell. So I started Butterfly Hair, and we are the sole importer, and they're the most comfortable, amazing hair clips you can imagine. So
now you've actually got one in your hand, haven't you?
Yeah.
And can we just have a look at some of those? Can you pass those up? Yeah. Let's take a look. So I was actually telling you earlier that things don't stay in my hair. But these ones actually, they will do. I haven't tried it today because I didn't want to kind of like make some marks in my hair. So what's it been like starting your business, and how did you go about it in the first place?
The first thing we did was bought 1,000 hair clips, and then I was panicking, thinking, how am I going to sell these 1,000 hair clips? But we've been in business 10 years now, and we've sold in excess of 160,000.
Really? Wow.
So we've helped so many people in South Africa, and we've been helping with poverty out there, so it's really good.
So it's not just for yourself, isn't it? It's just something that's also helping other people, which is great.
Yeah, it is lovely. And when the box arrives with all the clips in, we never know what's going to be in there.
Yeah.
We have no say in what the beads are going to look like. And it's just so exciting. Even after 10 years, it's still exciting when we open the box.
So when did you start your second business, which is the popcorn?
About 5 years ago. It was during the recession, and much harder to sell hair clips just at like trade fairs and shows and exhibitions. And I just had this harebrained idea that it would be good to make popcorn. So we ordered this.
Where did that idea come from? So it just started with the blue popcorn, hair clips, popcorn.
I was at a show and I was talking to somebody else, another person on the show, and somebody was selling popcorn kernels, just tiny, like different colour ones, and we were discussing the fact that popcorn was very underrated in the country, and it was 5 years ago. It's much more popular now, and so instead of just trying it in our kitchen first, we just went and bought this whole big kettle and everything from America, and just started making it.
And how's the business going? How's it?
It's really good. We're told it's the best popcorn.
It is lovely. I have to say, I can't stop eating
and it's highly addictive. So we do several flavours as well. We've developed the flavours as the time's gone on.
And the good thing about it is no chemicals, no nasties in there.
No nasties. It's suitable for vegetarians and people with allergies. There's nothing in it to upset anybody.
That's really good. And how did you two meet then? How did this relationship start?
Great question. I mentor Lin's daughter, Nikki Tribble. So I think you decided to, you said to Nikki, oh, can I come along and obviously watch one of your mentoring sessions? And I think you decided that you wanted to maybe go down that route after seeing the results that Nikki was getting, because her business was just absolutely fantastic. And you know, with mentoring, it's all about that accountability. And Lin could see her daughter's business growing and growing. That Lin decided to obviously have some mentoring herself. So
and how's that going? How's the mentoring?
It's absolutely brilliant. It gives you so much confidence, and you just want to get on with it, because you can. Chelsey sees the bigger picture, whereas like I'm a bit like blinkered and just making the popcorn, selling the hair clips. But she sees this bigger picture, which is amazing. So yeah, it's really good.
So then, how's it been sort of learning new skills, maybe like social media and things like that?
It's been challenging, but great fun. We've had to completely change the way that our business operates, because we sold at craft fairs and gift fairs, but during the recession it got much harder to do that. And so with our website, I really wanted to get it so that it was like having the experience when you see this at the trade stand. So we put hair clips in people's hair, we show them how to do it, and I wanted to get that across, so I had to learn about how to do videos and how to interact in a very different way with our customers. So that's where social media came in. So I learned how to do Facebook, and then just think I've got it, and then
something else
changes
comes.
And then something else comes.
Yeah, that's always the case. But it's good to keep updating yourself and learning new things, isn't it? And what's it like having businesses?
It is great, because I'm only accountable to me. So if we don't make any money, it's my fault, really. I just,
Yeah. Okay. It looks like you're having fun, which is good. And
Yes.
making lots of lovely popcorn. Chelsey, what did you see in our Lin here?
Oh, I mean, it's just wonderful. I mean, you know, Lin, the way that Lin, you know, adapts to the mentoring, and I've got to give you so much credit here for, you know, learning all this social media is just absolutely fantastic. Lin really took to it. It's not been easy, you know, to you know, you've been designing graphics, you've been doing the marketing, you've been uploading them on social media, we're doing all the tweets in the sessions, and Lin goes home and does them all. So it's, you know, it's been a tall order, but not just one business, two businesses. So half the session we spend on the beautiful hair clips, the one clip, and then the rest of the session we work on the popcorn. So I give her all these tasks to do for both businesses, and she goes off and does them. And it's been absolutely wonderful to see Lin adapt to it, because you didn't have to do these things all those years ago. There was no all the social media, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. There was none of that. But it's also changed how we sell to people. You know, because the popcorn is unbelievable. You've had it yourself, the taste, the flavour. It's nothing, you know, I think people say it's the best British popcorn out there. But, you know, how do you get that message across on social media? They can't smell it, they can't taste it. So we got a really hard job. We got the beautiful clips in front of us here. We know that they are amazing and comfortable, but yet the you know, the person on the end of social media, they don't know that. So we have to really get that message across. And I just think you've been wonderful. You're wonderful to work with. And really I just, you know, want to congratulate you on the success of your business so far.
Thank you.
We're having a moment here.
Well, we're so busy working on the business, we don't get time to sometimes say that.
And one good thing about working with Chelsey and social media is that the tips that she gives us for hair clips actually also apply to popcorn. So it's not really working two complete separate paths, because you know, obviously, like, the tweets are different, but the process is the same.
Which can apply to other things as well. Other businesses that might come up in the future.
Yes,
We were discussing one in the room, weren't we?
Yes, I have another business idea as well.
Okay, don't tell us yet. Come back on it. Chelsey, you ready?
Two's enough, plus your daughter.
So Chelsey, let's pick your brains a bit now as well, since we have you here as well, about the adult learning in general. What tips do you have for that?
Well, I think learning is for life. You know, there's so many benefits to learning, you know, even later on in life. But you've got to think about all those things that maybe you wish you'd done, you know, when you were younger and you never got round to it. There is no age on learning. And there's so many benefits to, you know, taking courses. There's online courses from Open University. There's just so many benefits to it. For example, it's, you know, really pushing you and developing you both personally and professionally. So when you learn a new skill, it's giving you not only confidence, but it's giving you that sense of purpose. You feel like you've achieved something. I remember when I went on, I've been on 3 leadership courses, and it does give you confidence. I remember coming out of not only the first course, the second one, thinking, I'm a leader now, and you know, really, I'm a leader. And it, you know, you've not only been in a room with all those like-minded people who share similar interests, but you've got suddenly you've got a wider network, you've got contacts. So there's so many benefits to learning, and of course it's about, you know, getting those additional skills and upskilling can of course really lead on to many opportunities that perhaps weren't there before. So it can obviously help to increase your salary, you know, widen your growth and opportunities, perhaps you know, get you into a completely different field that you never thought you'd do. I mean, take Lin a year ago, maybe she didn't even, you know too much about the social media aspect or what it involved, let alone designing like you do. She could go on to do that for other businesses now. But ask Lin a year ago about social media, no. But taking the time to learn, you know, I've seen you really grow and develop into a very confident person with all that marketing and with that social media. So I think it's a massive confidence boost. And, you know, of course, the other side of it is that it keeps you inspired if you're learning a new skill, and it keeps this working. So, you know, maybe it won't lead to, you know, some of those horrible diseases later on in the future if you keep your mind
that's
really
been proven,
active.
hasn't it? Yeah.
Well, it has.
And even they say even people that just retire, they're more likely to die earlier than those that carry on doing something, learning something. So that has actually been proven. So
absolutely. So I just think it's a matter of thinking, you know, what if you could learn anything, what would it be? Forget how much it costs. Forget limitations on, you know, any limitations. What would you like to do? Because there's so many courses. If you go to, for example, large libraries, they have an abundance of courses there. Some are free that you can take. Some, if you're on low income or unemployed, they are very heavily subsidised. You can learn to be an accountant, you can do bookkeeping, English, writing, French, you know, all these different languages. You've got other resources on the internet, you know, just searching for something like adult.
I suppose that's a good start, isn't it? Especially for people that maybe haven't been doing anything like that for a while, and they're kind of a bit like, oh, I don't want to. I'm a bit nervous. I've not done this for a while, so I'm a bit nervous. I don't think I can do it. So maybe that's a good starting point.
Well, you could take an online course just to get that initial boost of confidence. So once you've done it, I mean, I've taken quite a few online courses, and you just think, wow, I know about that now. I'm an expert in that, and you can then progress. And maybe you might want to think about Open University or something. I know somebody who's taken a degree in sports science whilst having a full-time job. Why have they done that? Because it can widen their potential after, and they can apply for different jobs and maybe change career direction. So I think it could be a bit daunting for somebody going back to school, because we're only really at school and college in our teens up to, you know, 20s, you know, and going back at 40, 50, 60, sitting in a classroom and that, it can be daunting, but you've got to do it for you. And it really, I've seen the benefits for so many people about the skills, what happens to a person when they acquire new skills. It's absolutely wonderful. So I think my best advice would be to, you know, start searching on the internet under adult learning, see what's available, because there's so many free resources. Even the BBC have all these courses that you can do online, and you know, there's so many different resource centres out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something anyone can do, no matter what their situation, I would say.
Any age?
Anyone. Yeah, any age, anyone. So Lynn, now final words from you, Lynn. People that are watching now that have been kind of a bit reluctant to start something new because they think, oh, it's too late for me now, I should just kind of retire. What advice would you give to them?
Oh, I'd say go and do it, because you never know what you can achieve until you try. And also to take all the help that you can get, because you know, the help's been invaluable, and not being frightened to just say, I don't know, I can't do this.
And you can tell, Chelsey, the way Lynn's talking about it, is a big smile on her face. She's actually really passionate about this. You can tell, you can see it in your eyes.
Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely. So I wish you all the best with your businesses and the one that you're thinking of doing as well. Do you know about it already?
Well, the thing is, actually, while we're on the subject, running a business and launching it, like learning new skills, can become addictive. So, you know, we worked on the beautiful hair clip business, then there was the popcorn. I'm sure that by the end of it, Lynn's going to have 5 businesses, because I know her daughter's got 2 as well. So it just goes to show that it does work.
Yeah, okay. Ladies, thank you so much. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Chelsey, we're going to see you soon on our show as well, because you do come regularly and give lots of advice to our viewers. So thank you so much, and we'll see you again very soon. So after the break, everybody, I'll be sharing the ways that I personally like to learn, and also we have Dr. Audrey Tang to tell us about the best methods of learning and how to choose your best way. So don't go away. Welcome back to today's programme, everyone, which has been all about achieving goals in later life. And of course, we've also had our makeover. So now I'm going to be sharing some things with you, ways that I like to learn. So my first way that I like to learn, or enables me to learn, is by staying grounded. So I've never reached a point where I've said to myself, I know everything there is to know about a particular subject, and I kind of, close myself off from learning. So I'll give you an example. I was already presenting for quite a number of years, but then an opportunity came up for me to do a one-day presenter course at Pinewood Studios, and I was really, really up for it, and I did go. But I could have said to myself, well, I've been a presenter for a few years now, I've already got a job, I don't need to go. But I saw it as an opportunity to actually learn something new, and I did pick up a few points when I went there. So for me, I do like to, even though I might know a lot about a subject, I still like to explore and find out more about it. And also, I'm very open to constructive criticism, not just from my superiors, but also from people that I work with. So for example, even here in the studio, I sometimes ask the runners for their honest opinion of the show. Sometimes, I ask the camera people, and there are times when people look a bit sort of startled that I'm asking them, but I am actually honestly asking for like an honest opinion from them. And some I know won't really say what they think, but others, like for example, I remember one particular cameraman, and I said to him, I thought that was a bit boring. And he said, yeah, it was. And for me, I really appreciated that, because I like people to be honest with me, because then I know where, things can improve and where I can get better. So staying grounded, I think, is a good way of actually opening yourself up to learn. My second point is, I learn from other people. So I do like to ask a lot of questions. I do ask my husband questions. I ask my friends questions, people that I work with. If I see they're working on something and I don't know how to do that thing, I will start to inquire. I know I annoy people with that sometimes, but for me, it's just the way that I pick things up. And I also learn a lot since, I've started to learn a lot since I've been doing this show as well from the guests. So we have lots of experts on, lots of even the real life story guests that come on, the things that they do sometimes when they kind of go out there and make things happen. I learn from them as well. And though I'm asking questions on the viewer's behalf, but I'm also asking for myself, because I want to know and I want to learn from other people. The third way that I learn is I look things up. So if I'm reading something and there's a word that I'm not familiar with, straight away I'm on my phone, I look the word up, look at how to use it in the right context. If there's no one, for example, if I ask someone something and they're not able to help me, then I will look it up on YouTube. So I don't just say, okay, I don't know, and that's it. I try to find out for myself. And the fourth way I love to learn is the simple art of just thinking. So I like to ponder on things. So if I go through a particular situation, something's gone wrong, I actually ask myself, what could I have done better? Why did this particular thing happen? What can I change for next time? So I like to learn from my mistakes. I don't just say to myself, oh, that happened, it's one of those things. No, it's not one of those things. If something happened, it happened for a reason. Maybe the way I was thinking about something, or something that I need to change for myself. So I do like to be self-reflective. Now, I also, recently, for example, I realized that I reacted to something in a way that I wasn't expecting. So I found out, I'll tell you what it was. There was just a situation. I found out a person's real opinion of me. And I was actually quite upset, because I didn't think this person thought that of me. And I was hurt, I was upset. It took me sort of a few days sort of thinking about, what went wrong and all those kind of things. But then after all that happened, I was like, okay, but why was I hurt? Why is it so important for me that this person likes me? And I realized that it was a kind of insecurity that was there that I didn't realize was there. So I tackled that. So if I had just said, oh, it's just one of those things, someone doesn't like you and whatever, I wouldn't have learned anything from it. But I was able to identify something in myself that I was able to overcome. So you can get a lot out of your life and out of your things that you're trying to do just by thinking, just by sitting down and without any interruptions, without anyone sort of giving you their opinion. Just think for yourself and reflect on why you go through certain things, why certain things happen to you. And actually, this can even help you overcome certain mental health issues that you may have, because if you look at something like depression, for example, normally sometimes there's people that will say, I don't know why I'm depressed, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Well, actually there probably is a root there. It's very rare for someone just to get depressed out of the blue. Normally something's happened either in the childhood or some kind of trauma or maybe a fear of the future that brings on these things. And you can actually trace things back to where it all started, to the root cause, and tackle that thing. So if you don't take the time just to reflect on your life, you will never get to that realization. And actually when you identify the root, that's when you can get a real solution. That's when you can change everything around. So I think number 4 for me is one of the best ones that has actually enabled me to get past things and to move on and to improve. Well, before we go, we do have another video with Audrey, and she's going to be talking about the best type of learning there is out there, and also how to identify the way that you can learn the best.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, any learning that you enjoy is good for you. However, there are certain preferences that we may have in the way that we learn. So the question I'd like to ask, first of all, is what do you do when you get, say, a new mobile phone? Do you dive straight in and just have a play with it? Or do you ask the person in the shop to instruct you as to how to use it? Or do you read the instructions? Those 3 different ways demonstrates 3 different preferences we have for learning. I say preferences because it doesn't mean that if we have to learn in a different way we can't do it. It's just that we prefer to learn in that particular method. The ones who dive straight in are the kinesthetic learners, the ones who like doing and learning through perhaps following someone or watching a demonstration and doing it at the same time. That learning is more likely to stick for you. The auditory learners enjoy having someone to explain what to do, listening to instructions. They are often writing lists after they've seen how something works or heard how something works, or perhaps even read the instructions. Lists are quite good for auditory learners. Visual learners are the ones who like the instructions, who like seeing something on a PowerPoint slide. All I'm saying in terms of your learning preferences is that if you have a certain way that you enjoy learning, then look for that method of teaching. A lot of the time, if you're, say, continuing professional development, if you're a visual learner, then actually an e-learning course may be more suitable for you. If you're a kinesthetic learner or an auditory learner, then a style of course where you actually have to attend the sessions may be more suitable. So it's not a case of there's one style of learning or preference that's better than another, but it's more important to know your preference and find the type of class that's going to suit you. Similarly, for practitioners, it's also really important to realise that people take a lot of different things from learning. Some people actually really like learning in context. They actually like to know what the application of that learning is and find abstract theories. They don't really want to think about those very much. If you know you've got a class that really appreciates the context, build that context into your teaching. For example, children who don't enjoy maths may actually enjoy working with their parents when they come to a petrol station and mum or dad says, well, I've put in this much petrol costs this much, how much will I have to pay? It puts the learning into context. So there's no good or bad way to learn. All types of learning is absolutely great, but know yourself and know your preferences. And when it comes to choosing how you wish to learn, because there is such a great choice out there, go for the one that suits you.
Thank you very much to Audrey for all the great advice that she's given us on today's programme. Well, we have reached the end of today's show, everybody, but if you have a story that you would like to share, maybe you've been through something, you would like to share it with the viewers, or maybe it's something that you're going through and you would like some advice here on the show, or you just want us to cover a topic on that particular subject, do let us know. You can contact us via the website chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet us at Chrissy B Show or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And remember, it's never ever too late to learn something new or to change your life around. Bye-bye for now.
I had an absolutely fantastic time. My makeup is brilliant. It was just awesome. Loved it.
So I like to kind of do that kind of inner, I don't know what you call it, when you look at yourself and I don't know what the, oh, shut up, no. What is it called? Reflecting. Yes, that's it, reflecting. Well, after the break, guys, I'll be sharing. And also we'll be joined, no, we're not going to be joined by, because she's on a video of learning. Too many learning. Can I change that, please?
4, 3, 2, 1, take off. That's it.
Engine running.
What do you say?
Engine running.
Engine,
What does that mean,
engine
Phil?
running?
We know what it means, like literally, but what?
It's working.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's some termination.
Is that TV
Okay,
language? Is that
engine
TV?
is running.
That director talk. What would you say? What would you say?
What would I say?
What would you say?
Whatever you want to ask. Here we go. It makes a big difference.
Okay.
Something.
I can't remember. I can't think of any questions.
Okay, let's
What was
just
the other
keep
one?
going. Let's keep going.